Welcome to Super Entrepreneurs Podcast. Today we have with us David Hensel. How are you, David?
I'm excellent. Thanks for having me, man.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We always like to begin by allowing our guests to introduce themselves in their own words, and we'll take it from there.
Well, my name is David Hensel. I'm an entrepreneur for a very long time already, for like 20 some years. From Germany originally, had a business there, but saw what was going on in the startup scene in the US, and I was drawn to that. So I sold my business in Germany, got my money for my investor visa through that, and moved to Los Angeles, was there for 8 years. Had a successful exit of a CDN called Max CDN, which I co-founded in 2009. And then I moved to Turkey because my wife wanted to go back to Germany. I couldn't go back to German weather, so we ended up here. It's nice and warm and still close to Germany.
Yeah.
And good. Now I have a portfolio of businesses, few outsourcing businesses, and my passion business, which is managing happiness, where I help people to figure out their personal mission, vision, and core values and their habits. And resulting out of this, another business which is called UpCoach. It's a software for coaches to help them to run their business better.
UpCoach. So can you talk a little bit more about UpCoach? How does it work in a coach's world? Like, how is it basically a CRM system?
It's a CRM system as well, but it's the idea is that normal course software is our passive consumption plugins, passive consumption apps. And we built a active app that holds you accountable and allows the coach to actually transform people's lives. Initially, it started when I've built a course on a course platform and I had a 7% completion rate on the course. And this, 100 people buy the course and only 7 people complete the course. And this was bugging me because I was not doing this to make money. It was just like, I want to actually help people to transform their lives. And then I switched to cohort-based group coaching, and I had a 90+% completion rate, and I thought like, holy cow, this works so much better. But it was very cumbersome. I cobbled it together with Google Docs and course software and email and WhatsApp group. And, it was just like very hard to manage. And so I started with building a group habit tracker and then adding more and more stuff to it until we had all these things in there. And then it turned out to be a really good software for coaches. And I thought, okay, other coaches could use this as well, not just me. And I reached out to Todd Herman. He is the author of the book called The Alter Ego Effect. He's a coach for over 20 years. And I asked him, I built this coaching software. I'm not a coach by trade, but what do you think about this? And he said, this solves 80% of all the headaches in my business. I want to invest and be a business partner. I'm like, sure, let's roll. And so this, that's
awesome. Yeah. So what I could picture it doing, basically, you can set up a journey for your client, meaning it will remind them what they need to do on a consistent basis to create new habits, like a text message reminders and that sort, correct?
So do you know Elementor in WordPress? It's like a drag and drop builder.
Oh, yes.
So we kind of did the same approach for this. You built the program that you designed for this for your clients, right? So first, maybe you have a welcome video, then you have a course, then we call it blocks. Then you put in a course block, then you maybe put in a forum block. So you have like your community element in there as well. Then you drag in a habit block. So you have the habit tracking in there, then lightweight task management. And so you can kind of like build the program that you want. Yeah, absolutely customize it. We actually use it for my agency businesses. We're also using it as the customer portal, so you kind of log in and you have the customer communications happening over the forum. And, so it's very flexible. So you can really customize and build the business.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds pretty great in the coach's world, and when you actually can customize that journey to match your coaching style, That's a huge bonus, especially for the client, right?
Yeah, the cool thing is also with the cohort-based coaching is that you have positive peer pressure. You see the other participants' habits, if they're doing the habits or not. You see how far they are in the course. You see if they're filling out their documents. Usually you just like send people PDFs, they fill them out at home, and you don't know what they're doing. But here you see everything's happening in one platform, and you have the community aspect and the positive peer pressure, and you can really keep the finger on the pulse of like how people are doing, so you can hold them accountable. So accountability is a very big piece, and especially group accountability, positive peer pressure. And this is why we call it an active coaching platform, a platform really built for coaches and not just a passive consumption platform like an LMS, for example.
It's like, it's dynamic.
Yeah.
Right? It's dynamic to your coaching style, is dynamic to the client, the experience, and then at the end of the day, the results. So I'm sure you use it for your own clients, obviously. It's your platform.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for one-on-one or for group cohort. Yeah, you can.
And is this a monthly fee, or is it like you just make a purchase one time?
No, it is a monthly fee, and it works similar like a CRM. Like you pay for the seat for the coach, and and then you can have as many
seats,
coachees or customers in there as you want. But it's like based on like how many admins you have in there. Similar to like Salesforce, you can have a lot of leads in there, but you pay for the seat of the sales guy.
What got you into entrepreneurship anyway? Like, were you ever in employment, or was it always entrepreneurship?
No, I went to 14 different schools. I got kicked out everywhere. I was like a real trouble student. And then I smoked a lot of weed as a teenager and just kind of got lost, and didn't know what to do with my life. And then a friend of mine came to me and said like, hey man, you good with computers. How about we start a business together? I'm like, sure, I have nothing else going on. I was actually pretty lost. I went to the Arbeitsamt in Germany, which is like the job center, and I read through every possible job you can have. And I thought, this is all horrible. I don't want to do any of this. And then, my friend led me to entrepreneurship. And this was like, kind of like the thing for me, because I always had the problem with authority. And so finding this, was made for me.
Yeah. And
so never had a job, like ever.
Never had a job, just straight into entrepreneurship. And then what about the mindset behind it? Entrepreneurship in the beginning, when you started, did you see success, or did you see some bumps, light bumps?
I mean, there's
how was
always
it initially?
One thing I always like to share is there was a real transformation for me. I was very introverted, which was holding me back as an entrepreneur. I hated sales with a passion. Like public speaking, I was even uncomfortable on conference calls, so I was like really struggling with this. And I saw a friend after I moved to LA, a friend of mine, he was crushing it with networking at conferences and public speaking. I was like, holy shit, this works so, sorry for being not, for swearing. I thought, holy cow, he is crushing it with this. I want this as well. And I thought, how do I get this? I did Toastmasters, which is public speaking training, twice a week. And I went to 2 networking events per week until I like exposure therapy style overcame my shyness. But then the real transformation happened when my yoga teacher said, every decision in life, you either make it out of love or out of fear. These are the basic emotions why you do everything in life. And if you do it out of love, you're on the right path. If you do it out of fear, you're on the wrong path. And this was something I always knew deep down inside, but now she gave me this mantra to use, and I used it in every aspect of my life. Actually, as you can see here, I also have a sticker on my microphone that says
love not fear. I love that.
And so applying it to sales, if I think UpCoach is the right solution for you and can help you in your life and your business, then I can even be pushy and say like, dude, buy this. It's going to be amazing. I can even be a pushy sales guy because I do it with love, because I want to enrich your life. If I do it out of fear, I sell because I have to hit my numbers, so I have to pay my mortgage, and I can't sell for the life of me. Or public speaking. If I speak and I think I'm standing on stage and I think about myself and full of fear, thinking like, do they think I have a weird German accent? Do they think I look weird? Do they think what I'm saying is stupid? I can't
all present. Those voices.
Say again?
All those voices you start hearing. Right?
Yeah. And if then I'm full of fear and I can't present, but if I think like, hey, am in a state of love and thinking like what I share here can help them in their life and their business, I can give a good presentation, So, and I could go on, give you other examples, but like basically every decision now I run through this filter. Am I acting out of love or out of fear? And my emotions are the barometer for this. Like if I feel good about something, I lean in. If I don't feel good about something, I take a step back and think like, hey, can I change my attitude towards this? Or like, what is it? Why don't I feel good about this? And can I turn this around and actually act out of love?
And what the type of work that you do with clients, what does it entail? I tried to understand that in the beginning, but you mentioned it's like life coaching.
Yeah, well, there's 10 different businesses, but managing happiness, it's somewhat life coaching, I guess. It's helping people to cultivate the right habits, because I'm a firm believer that habits determine everything in your life. If you're rich or poor, happy or unhappy, obese or in shape, it all boils down to which habits you cultivate. And then finding out what you really want, because like defining your personal mission and vision in the 3 most important areas of your life, which is work, family, and yourself. And, defining the goals and the vision and mission, and then, with the habits and the right mindset, actually getting there to achieving what you want. Because I think this is what defines happiness. If you figure out what you really want and work towards it, then, you'll be happy.
Yeah. And when you don't have a goal, you drift, right? When you have a purpose, when you have a target, you just go after it. You have something to go after.
Talking about drifting, it's like this is actually one of the books that had the biggest impact in my life. It's Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil, and he talks about drifters, like that the devil impacts you and causes you to drift, not have a definite purpose in your life, and just floating around like a leaf in the wind.
Good chunk of my life was spent a drifter, so not actual drifter, but mentally it can. And that's a really great book, but I'm saying like it's actually the drifting causes us to feel that frustration. We start questioning life, right? And everything in it and what's happening. That purpose, that goal, that once you find out what you really are here for and you go after that, it just brings such a light into your life that you just beam it out in the world. It's beautiful. Yeah,
like life becomes way more fun once you figure out what you really want. And I share this all the time because I think it's so fascinating. One of the participants, we do a vision board exercise, and they're kind of like creating a vision board with the things that you want. And he puts a supercar on the vision board as one of the elements. And 4 weeks in the course, he comes back and says like, I don't know why I put this there. I don't even like cars, So kind of like, because a lot of people are living up to what their parents or what society or what the neighbors think is cool, and not really what do you want, So figure out what you really want.
What you really, really want, what you want, right? So that's it's so funny that we don't even realize that, when we actually start digging deep, that's when we realize that some of our goals are not actually ours, it's just been embedded by our environment. It's a good point.
Yep.
Yeah. What are your plans for the future? Anything big happening? Any new startup?
I have lots of plans.
Okay, good.
And lots of goals. I want to get to 10,000.
Share some on the show?
Yeah, sure. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to get to 10,000 employees in my outsourcing businesses, because I read this book called Conscious Capitalism, and the idea is that the old way of doing business is you increase shareholders' value, basically make the owners of the business rich, and the conscious way is doing good by all stakeholders, meaning suppliers, customers, employees, kind of everything that's touching the business, doing good by them. And if you do this, then your business is a vehicle to have a positive impact in the world. And I thought it's super cool. So I got very excited about building a big outsourcing business, because I can employ a lot of people, put food on the table, and provide them a great work environment. Mm-hmm. So that's one of my goals. Then building up Managing Happiness into the size or bigger than Toastmasters. I'm seeing it as like personal development clubs, like Toastmasters for personal development. So this is another goal. I could go on. Have lots of goals and plans.
Yeah.
Actually, if you want to join Managing Happiness, we're starting a 30-day habit challenge, because as I mentioned, habits determine everything in your life. And it's much easier to do this in a group with other people, other like-minded people, to hold each other accountable. Then you can actually achieve the habits, and don't be a dick to your future self. Kind of like get the habits on track. And there's something interesting going on. We launched a new business this week, which is called Uber QA. It's a quality assurance business for people who, if you're coding, developers are expensive and getting more and more expensive and harder to find. And the other reason is like you don't want your customers to find bugs. So this is why we have Uber QA. It's only $10 an hour for a dedicated
amazing
quality assurance person. And so we build it. I like to build stuff to scratch my own itch. Like UpCoach was also built to scratch my own itch. With UpCoach, we need QA. And so we thought, we have with the BPO business, we have a recruiting engine to recruit and train people, and we can manage them. So I thought, like, why not build a software around this and then get into this business as well? And so, it's uberqa.com. And we had another big launch. It's called recoverpayments.com. For failed payment recovery after Churnbuster and Profitwell, the automated tools are done, then our failed payment recovery agents go out there and reach out to the customer and recover these payments.
Awesome. Awesome.
Lots of fun. Lots of stuff going on right now.
Lots of great stuff. That's amazing. And for the outsourcing, where is it based? Where are the staff? Which countries?
They're kind of all over. We have a lot of people in the Philippines,
Top three.
A lot of people in Philippines, South Africa, Jamaica right now.
Good. Jamaica is a new one. I didn't hear that before. I know Philippines, India, and but I didn't hear Jamaica. Jamaica's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Staffing,
good English.
Yeah, that's good. Excellent. And what are the employees at right now? What number are you at?
We're like scratching 500 right now.
Okay, I love the goal. It's called the super goal. Amazing. And
it was
I'm wishing
a 10-year goal.
Achieve it. Yeah. That's great.
We want to end at 1,000 at the end of the year. So
that's great. Does it have an affiliate component to it? Like,
yeah, we have a lot of partnerships where people pass us leads and we give them kickbacks. Yeah, absolutely. And we also with we have L2V Plus. We provide live chat agents and support agents. L2vplus.com, and then we have TaskDrive.com where we provide lead researchers and sales development reps. Then we have Shortlist.io where we do backlink building. So what we often do is that SaaS businesses plug us in. For example, a live chat software adds us in. There's a button like add a new agent because they sell the software and they want, fill the seats. And sometimes people struggle to find agents. So we just provide them agents and give them a kickback on that transaction. So it's kind of like a built-in model. And so we do this for sales-related stuff, support-related stuff, and SEO-related stuff. And it's our main growth engine.
Yeah. Well, David, I should have asked you, what aren't you doing? But this is incredible. I love
sleep.
I love this stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. But for me, my biggest passion with this show is to meet people like you that are making a change. You have a good heart. You want to do good for others. You're trying to create things that just doesn't benefit you, but benefit others. That's the key, and that's what I realized later on in my life is that through my transformation, I realized that you actually get way more success when you focus on others instead of yourself.
For sure. Yeah. It's like money is a side effect of providing value.
Yeah.
If you figure out how to provide the most value to people, and always have your customers in mind, and like, how can we make this as amazing as possible for the customers? Then it's also, even I think Steve Jobs said this: if you're not willing to cannibalize yourself, somebody else will do it happily for you. So if you like, it's like sometimes when companies get bigger, they don't want to make changes and still charge the high rates. And just always do good by your customers. Be customer centric or die.
The customer, That's excellent. We always like to ask our guests what their inner superpower is that got them to this point.
I guess one superpower is I have a condition called aphantasia. which is I cannot produce images in my head. So when I close my eyes and I think of an apple or my daughter's face, I cannot see anything. In my mind, it's always black.
I never heard of that.
I just found out a year ago. Also blew my mind that like other people can have images.
Wow.
In their head. I thought
so your whole life you didn't even know that you thought everybody was the same way.
Yeah, I mean, like, when people said like visualize this, I didn't know that you can actually conjure up images.
Like manifest, visualize. You're saying, what are you talking about? Visualize? What do you?
I thought it's like I can logically visualize something, because everything's just a logical concept in my mind. Or I can also not recreate sounds, tastes, smells, or emotions. So when something is past, I cannot. Like my father passed away when I was 12, and it took me like a few hours to get over it, because like it is what it is. What can I do? And I cannot.
Yeah.
I have the emotions in the moment, but then later on, it's gone. I also can't miss people or things. When we left LA, everybody was like, "I'm gonna miss you." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna miss you too." But like, it's I'm like a friendly sociopath, basically.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that is a superpower. That's one of the top superpowers I heard on this show. So this is very unique, very amazing, and it's helping you.
It's helping me too, because I can make logical decisions, and I'm not held back by emotional baggage. So it's like.
Yeah. In a sense, you seem very, by having those traits, you're very spiritual, because people, they go through so much training, years of it, to get to that point of just being okay with everything, and that you already have it naturally. Yeah. Yes, that's great. Well, if do you have any last minutes any last comments you want to share with the audience? Final words.
Final words, like make decisions out of love, not fear. Keep your customers in mind. Like always do. Yeah, make it as cool. Make your offering as cool as possible for the customers. And money is a side effect of providing value. And if you find a way to provide as much value as possible to as many people as possible, you'll be the richest dude around. So
awesome. Love it, David. Love it. And the audience, please get in touch with David. All his information will be in the show notes. Engage with our content, comment, send a message to David, follow our pages, David's pages, my pages, and get engaged. And if you need help anywhere, don't be afraid to ask. That's the only way to find solutions, if you ask. And my entire life I had trouble asking, but asking is the best way. So just ask. Go ahead, David. Sorry.
Yeah, if you want to connect with me, just like find me on LinkedIn and tell me that you've heard me on this podcast. If you write something, if you write this in the connection message, then I'll definitely connect with you.
Awesome. Great. That's so lovely. Thank you so much, David. It's been an honor to have you on the show. I wish you all the growth and success. You keep going there, and keep in touch with us too. If you ever have a new product, something launching, just send me an email, contact us, contact Ken, whatever, and we'll set something up to spread your message.
I always launch new stuff, so it's
well, you know what? Keep in touch then, I'll love to hear from you. All right.
Thanks again. Appreciate you.
You too.